Hey guys, Jake Does Sports, back at it again here on the Jake Does Sports show. Jake Sullivan here, bringing you college football content, football content. I try to do it every week. Broke the streak this week, ladies and gentlemen. I got my wisdom teeth removed. I couldn't talk for a few days. I'm sorry, guys. But I have never been more infuriated with wanting to make content and not being able to than this weekend, because there is so much to talk about. You guys already know I'm a Division I yapper myself, but it is going to be a whole nother level of yap today because so much has gone down in college football, from transfer portal stuff to Notre Dame news specifically to Florida. We're going to get to the whole Florida State thing. You can get my opinion on it. And what I thought, guys, I correctly picked that the committee was going to choose Alabama over Florida State, even though I think it's the wrong decision. So we'll get into that. We'll get into the bowl game Notre Dame's playing in and my reaction to that. Guys, I was sitting there 5 hours on Sunday. It took them 5 hours to announce it, dude. How long does it take to announce the bowl matchups? How long? I can't scream and yell because of the wisdom teeth. I might have to today, guys. I might have to. We'll see. We got a ton to talk about. So let's get to the elephant in the room here. Florida State. It's really tough, guys. I'm not going to lie. Everyone in the nation, even Florida State players, should know Alabama's the better team. They're the better team. And the committee has always said the best four. From the beginning, that is a flawed model. And I will tell you why now. You can't. The best four is so subjective. It's opinion-based. I could say, I think the Bills are one of the best 5 teams in the NFL. But guess what? They're nowhere near the playoffs. And there's a reason for that. They haven't won. They haven't proved it on the field. Florida State did. They won every single one of their games. And I'm always a big believer in that. And that's why I was hoping TCU would get in, and I believe they should get in last year. And people who are still mad about that, guys, they won a freaking playoff game. They beat Michigan. Oh, yeah, they got blown out in the finals. Well, but Michigan lost. So that's just a flawed argument. But getting back to the point, Alabama, in my opinion, and a lot of people's opinion, was one of the 4 best teams. So I guess by the committee standards, yeah, but it's subjective. Georgia's one of the best 4 teams. They're not in the playoff, and there's a reason why. They don't deserve it. They lost their last game. They didn't win the SEC championship. They lost their biggest game of the year. They're not in. So why do you give because Alabama lost earlier in the year? Because guess what? If Georgia lost earlier in the year, to say they had Texas on the schedule and won the SEC championship, they're in. Plain as day. It's not even a thought. But because of how this, it's so weird. And getting back to this, guys, if Texas hadn't beaten Alabama, Texas wouldn't even be considered for this thing. Think about this. You're sitting there debating with a 1-loss Alabama, a 13-0 Florida State, and a 12-1 Texas without that Alabama win and that head-to-head. The head-to-head propelled Texas to number 3. The only reason Texas is in the playoff is because they have to be ahead of Bama. And Bama played so well that Bama's in the playoff, but Texas has to be let in too, so Florida State gets out. Because think about it here. If you're debating between a 13-0 Florida State, 12-1 Texas, 12-1 Bama, it's going to be 13-0 Florida State at 3, and then they're going to put Bama in. If there's no head-to-head with Texas, it's clear as day. So Texas fans that think if they didn't have that Bama game under their belt, they're done. They're cooked, if you will, as the Gen Zers say. You're cooked. They're cooked because they don't have. You get my point. It's just so. It's very subjective, and I originally thought the 12-team playoff was a good idea. Then I didn't. And then I did, and then I didn't, and now I think it's good again. So I really don't know. I think it's a good thing. The 12-team playoff. Yeah. I looked at it. You look at the teams this year. you're not going to be able to go 9-3 and make the playoffs. And that was my concern. I was thinking if you lose 3 games, if you lose 1 out of every 4 of your games on your schedule and you make the playoff, that is bogus, in my opinion. And as a conference champ, you still can, maybe. But without the divisions, I was really worried about the Big Ten. Like, what if a Big Ten team upset, and got in, like Iowa or Remember that one year when, like, I forgot who it was, like, Purdue at freaking 6-6 made the conference title? Like, it's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But that's not going to be an issue because of the fact that they're getting rid of divisions. So that's good. But at the end of the day, Florida State got snubbed. They got snubbed. Come on, dude. The fact, it's more insulting that they won their conference title game by 10, held Louisville to 6. No one's came close to that. I think NC State held them to 13. That's it. That game was so impressive defensively for Florida State. And for them to, like, not even be selected, but they dropped them in the rankings. They dropped them out. I don't know, dude. And it's so insulting to say that because of the Jordan Travis injury. I don't buy that. I don't buy that. I don't think that was the committee's reasoning. I don't. I think they thought Bama would have I think they thought between Florida State and Bama who would have been more competitive. Bama, let's put them in. And they used whatever bogus reason they had originally on the freaking on their script. It wasn't because of the Jordan Travis injury, dude. I'm telling you, if Florida State's 13-0 with Jordan Travis, they're not getting in. They're not. SEC's been... Sorry, I keep getting the two mixed up. SEC, ESPN. ESPN keeps pushing this narrative. They kept pushing it all week, dude. We were all eating it up. They slowly got it in your minds that without Jordan Travis, this team is nothing. And then, come selection show time, what do you know? It's because of Jordan Travis, who's not even in the Heisman finalist race. In the Heisman finalist race. Like, I don't get it, dude. It's stupid. Florida State should have been in. They would have gotten blown out. Mind you, they would have gotten blown out. I don't doubt that. I'm not saying I doubt that. Bama's a way better matchup. And I mean, as a college football fan, I'd like to see Bama in there. I want Michigan to lose so badly. I want Michigan to make the playoffs 3 times. And after being a 1 seed, I want them to lose. I want them to lose so badly. You do not even know. As a Notre Dame fan, you don't know. You don't know. But yeah. Like, it is what it is. I mean, there's nothing else to tell Florida State fans. And if they beat Georgia, they're claiming a national title. Just get ready for that, people. So Georgia, just please beat FSU so we cannot hear all that. The national championship stuff. It's dumb, dude. It's dumb. They're going to claim one, though. They are. At 14-0, they'll claim one. Oh, they'll claim one, all right. I have no doubt. Sorry, I'm just thinking. But yeah. Yeah. So that's my opinion on it. Florida State got snubbed. Bama should have not been in. Bama lost a game. They lost. I don't care how good their schedule is compared to Florida State. They lost. They did not do everything they could. Florida State did everything they could. They won all their games. And that's what we've been telling everyone all along. Win all your games, you're in. Plain as day. You don't want the haters to, you don't want the haters to leave you out of the playoff. Win all your games. That's what they always have said. I said a 12-0 Notre Dame getting in every time. Gosh, dude. Imagine there was a year with a 12-0 Notre Dame and 5 undefeated conference champions. Like, the system is set up to fail. I don't know why they did 4 teams in the first place, dude. I don't. They should have done 6 teams. They should have originally expanded to 6 teams. Have every bowl game participate, right? Because what's that? 1, 2, 4. I guess that's only 4. Do something like that. I don't know, dude. Just expand it to more than 4. They went from 2 to 4. Thought that was a big deal. I don't know. And 12 is like... I think 12 is good. And I like the auto bids, and I like the group of 5 getting an auto bid. I know they're probably going to get blown out more times than not, but they need a chance, dude. College football is one of the only sports where, like, if you're a group of 5 team, you have no shot at winning a natty. Like, genuinely. Like, imagine being a Toledo fan, or a Bowling Green fan, or a San Diego State fan. Like, I can't comprehend going out and watching your team every year knowing you're not going to win. You're guaranteed to not win a natty. And it's not likely for Notre Dame either, but, like, dude, that's just sad. That's not a thing in any other sport. Any other sport. Maybe college basketball. Even then, you've seen some teams get close. FAU last year was damn close to winning a national championship. It's more possible to do it as a lower classification school in basketball or any other sport. But college football, being 4 teams get into the playoffs, 4 out of 130. That's the lowest percentage. And that's what makes the regular season so great. But it comes at a cost of a bunch of group of 5 teams just getting no shot. Cincy had to go undefeated for 2 years straight just to get a chance, dude. Just to get a chance. And they beat Notre Dame was a big part of that. Keep that in mind. And I was cheering for them once they beat Notre Dame. But, like, I don't know. I'm just glad that we're getting a new, fresh system to where one group of 5 team makes it every year. If you win your conference, it actually matters, and you're guaranteed in. You don't have to sweat your butt off. I think it's good. Even as a Notre Dame fan, I think the auto bids are good. You need them. Looks like Notre Dame's going to have to go 10-2, 11-1, that area, to make the playoffs. I think 10-2 most years will get them in my opinion. 10-2 most years will get Notre Dame into the playoffs, which is what I think. I think that's fair. 10-2 for most teams will get them in. And what's nice is that Notre Dame, now they're not going to be compared to teams that are playing in conference championships if they're 10-2, 11-1. Because there's going to be like an 11-1 Ohio State. Or, I don't know. Like you know what I mean? Like a team that didn't win their division. Or didn't make the conference championship now because there's not going to be any divisions. So that's nice for Notre Dame. We're not going to hear the no 13th game crap. But I'm excited, dude. I'm excited for the 12-team playoff. I think it's got a lot to offer. And December football is going to be hype now. It is going... Between the NFL and now college football, guys, you're going to have matchups like... imagine Missouri, Ohio State at Ohio State. Dude, there are going to be some good matchups. Like, good matchups. I am very excited. And I'm curious to see... I wonder if teams within the same conference are going to be able to play each other, or if they're going to eliminate that. I think that should be fine. Personally, I like the dynamic of 2 teams from the same conference playing each other again or for the first time in a playoff game. That is hype. So there's no doubt we're going to get some insane matchups. If Notre Dame ever hosts a playoff game, dude, oh my gosh. And the big thing for Notre Dame fans is that I think fingers crossed. I'm crossing both my fingers here. Fingers crossed. Notre Dame can actually win a playoff game finally. They're not going to play some elite super team with 20 NFL players and just no shot from the beginning. Because if Notre Dame's sitting there at number 6, you're playing the 11th seed at home. I like our chances. Marcus Freeman's got to get the program turned around, though. And I'm not talking about playoffs for next year. I'm not convinced this team can go 10-2 next year. And let's get into it. Transfer portal news. last thing I'll talk about here. Already been yapping for 15 minutes. It's felt like 2 seconds. Riley Leonard to Notre Dame. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I think he's an exciting player. Jared Parker better not suck the life out of him, though. And the whole thing with the wide receivers coach gone. No, the problem is Parker, dude. It's Parker. You finally have some momentum in the wide receiver recruiting class. And they all transfer out because Stuckey leaves. And he's gone. He's fired. Was he really the problem, Marcus Freeman? We're going to find out next year. And if Stuckey wasn't the problem and it was Parker all along, there are going to be some massive uproars from Notre Dame fans, including myself. I've defended Marcus Freeman. But guys, he's had 2 full seasons under his belt at this point. And what do we always say? Year 3 is the make or break. We say that. Year 3 is the make or break year. And if you go 9-3 with the same offense trotted out on the field as this year, Marcus Freeman's on the hot seat for me. He is. I can't believe I'm even saying this because I think he's a great recruiter and I think he's a great guy and he's trying his damn best. But if we find out that keeping Parker, just to have the same offense as this year, next year, going 9-3, missing the playoffs, you just set the program back a year, son. You did. Same exact season? Yeah, I'm not having it. And that's where Riley Leonard, he's a good guy. Of course he's a good guy. He's a good quarterback, I think. With his legs, he's pretty unproven through the air, dude. I was really confident with Sam Hartman because he's a passer. He's a passer of the football. And we still did nothing with him. With all these receivers gone, and now you get a running centric quarterback that's kind of like it's going to be another year of pulling teeth out to, get 10 yards. And I really didn't want that, but I think it's how it's going to be. And I'm not going to say anything now, and I'm not going to everyone on this channel knows my thoughts on Gerard Parker. I call him Gerard Parker. Gerard Parker. Everyone knows my thoughts on that man. He should have been fired immediately after the Clemson game. I had not seen offense that bad since Brian Kelly. It's unacceptable what he trotted out on the field. And then to add insult to injury, to pour salt on the wound, you go out and beat these teams by 40s. These Stanfords, these, these lower classification schools. That's when you take the risk? Putting up 40 and going for the big plays? Do it in the big games! In the big games! Do it in the big games! It's pathetic. It's pathetic and sad, dude. You should have beaten Clemson. You should have beaten Ohio State. They handed you those games on a silver platter. And I'm not saying we would have gotten into the playoffs this year. We wouldn't have. I don't know. It's a good question. But this season was a failure. And you keep Parker after that failure? You get rid of the wide receiver coach that has given us momentum in the wide receiver room? How are we getting those players back, Marcus? That's my question. And I'll be waiting and seeing whether it's through the transfer portal. I got to take a look at the upcoming recruiting class. I know we're top 10. I think we're number 8, but damn, dude. Like, that was a shocker. And this is one of the first decisions by Marcus Freeman that I completely disagree with. But, and listen, I'll give him his one more year with Parker and with this new wide receivers coach, his old friend, old buddy. That's fine. And if it works, that's great. Keep him. But if it doesn't, there's going to be hell to pay. Not by me, but the Notre Dame fan base. And I think we've given him time to ramp up to the point where, okay, you need to start winning. Like winning at this point playoff games because the expansion. But I mean, we were complaining about Brian Kelly. He rarely went 10-2. He went 10-2, 11-1, 12-0. That was his range. Right now, the Marcus Freeman range is 8-4, 9-3. Those are the two. And I'm not talking about the bowl games, dude. Screw the bowl games. The regular season. 8-4, 9-3. First 2 years. 5 losses. 5. Wait, no. Oh, I'm sorry. No. 7 losses in the past 2 years. And you've seen what these coaches have. Look at Kalen DeBoer at Washington. He has 2 losses all time at Washington. He just got in there. Dan Lanning. No more than 4. 4 or 5. Like, what Notre Dame's been giving him more than enough leeway lately. And it's time to shrink it. It's put up or shut up time for Marcus Freeman. It is. Plain and simple. I no more honeymoon for Marcus Freeman, dude. I mean, okay. 8-4. I wouldn't say that's a failure. Because that was his first year. Last year was a failure. You were supposed to jump 2 games. Failure. My early expectations, again, is 10-2. 10-2, because Notre Dame just needs to get some momentum by getting into the playoffs. And I think 10-2 will do that for them. Somewhere around there. I got to check their schedule. With their schedule, they could go 11-1. But I'm saying 10-2, but there's a but. The offense must look competent. It must. And Marcus Freeman just hasn't had that. And Gerard Parker has been the main issue there, in my opinion. If it changes next year, I will shut up. I will not speak a word about it again. And maybe Stuckey was the problem, but the plays we ran and the overall incompetence of the whole offense, the whole thing. The wide receivers were a part of it, yes. But the whole thing is very concerning to me. And judging by the wide receivers, they did not like the move. Who were on our team. Ford wide receiver transferred out recently. Holden stays, tight end, gone. You got like 1 or 2 defensive players. I think there's like 11 or 12 people who have transferred out. Seems like an unpopular decision. It is by me personally, and it looks like from the Notre Dame players too. So Marcus has got to figure out how to get those people back. How Gerard Parker can run a stable and working offense against good teams. Good teams. Not just bad teams, good teams too. Every game. No slip-ups. None. So there's that. And you get Riley Leonard. I don't love it. I'm going to be honest. I don't love it. Okay? I think he's a good quarterback. He's not what we need. You need to develop a good passing game, dude. We have good RBs. Estime, I think Estime's gone, by the way. Yeah, I think he's gone. I think he can develop that well. It's the passing, dude. The passing. Give me a guy who can sling the rock. And we did that last year, and he did nothing. He did nothing. Maybe they're trying to switch it up with Gerard Parker. I don't know. I'm just yapping at this point. But, oh my gosh, man. I'm going to delay this Sun Bowl preview to another day because I got a story for that. This video is already getting too long. But it's put up, shut up time for Marcus Freeman and Gerard Parker. And I'm telling you right now, if they go below 9-3, 9-3 is like, it's not fireable, but anything below that, he should get fired. He should get fired. If I see the program going like this, yeah, it's instant you're gone. We tried this. Sorry, it didn't work out. Next guy. I'm dead serious. I'm not messing around with Marcus Freeman, dude. If he goes 8-4. 10-2, 11-1, hell, 12-0. Okay, you can stay. Maybe I was wrong. Let's see if this thing works going into the playoffs. That's what I'm going to say. But that's so far away, man. It's cold out here. Baby, it's cold outside. That's pretty much it, though, guys. I feel like I have one more thing to say. We'll talk about Oregon State later. But, yeah, I mean, just these the transfer portal is nuts this year, guys. I mean, you got DJU, Young Gilliland transferring. How does he even have any more eligibility? Nobody knows. You got guys like McCord, Will Howard. Heck, Oregon State's backup quarterback transferred out. Just so many guys. And is it good for college football? I think so. You're seeing more parity now because kids are transferring. These experienced guys are transferring to schools that they wouldn't have originally transferred to, and like Michael Penix Jr. building Washington up just like that. Just stuff like that. I don't know. I think it's good for college football, although it stinks because Notre Dame lost a ton of guys and they better get them back. That's all I gotta say. My hands are freezing, guys. I got to go in. We'll talk about the Sun Bowl and Notre Dame's matchup against Oregon State, the Beavers, later this week. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.